Black media combating lies in white media. This had to do with a falsified story that came out from this group called Political Fact. Did Abraham Lincoln plan to send the blacks to Central America? By Louis Jacobson. It was written June 26, 2015. In this article by Political Fact, who many think is a guy thing, he cites Eric Faulkner as one of his big things. Many people don't know Eric Faulkner is a very, very highly publicized writer on the issue. The story comes down as this. Lincoln was fervently making plans to send all free slaves to the jungle of Central America once the Civil War was over. The only thing kept this from happening was his assassination. And this got a false. This came from some type of blogger. And this got a false. And we got to explain this is how they backed it up, their little falsehood claim. That, that they stated, this writer that the monitor players, wonder whatever happened. The mainstream historians believe that Lincoln was making a plan to send all free slaves to the jungle. The short answer is, Lincoln long favored colonization. He wanted to get rid of black folks. And, so he was trying to get rid of them anyway. The post is preposterous. A historian who holds a distinguished career at Lincoln Studies at the University of Springfield, noting that recolonization of slaves in Africa had a long history, the main group supported the idea. The American Colonization Society, founded in 1817, the goal was the charitable and restorative undoing of the unkidnapping people from their homelands in Africa by offering the use of private funds to transport them back voluntarily for any who wish. So that's the story they came back, which is a true story. You know what I'm saying? Monrovia, Liberia was founded in the 1820s by former American slaves. And by the 1850s, Lincoln and his like-minded politicians supported their approach. By the mid-1850s, the anti-slavery movement shifted toward stopping the spread of slavery to the new United States of the Great Plains and the West. This is where he cites Faulkner, right? That Faulkner writes in 1862, Lincoln was a politically moderate member of Congress who saw colonization as a last piece of the policy puzzle, both providing for an abolition in the District of Columbia and the Second Confiscation Act, which includes provision for colonization for those wanting to immigrate. So it was a law about it. During 1862, Congress appropriated $600,000 to aid the transportation overseas of African Americans, Fonser wrote. The policy entrepreneurs are very untrustworthy, offer proposals in far-fetched slung as Brazil, Colombia, and the Caribbean island of St. Croix. So that's the places that, they were trying to send us to: Brazil, Colombia, Arizona, Central. But most black Americans wasn't buying it. You know what I'm saying? Undeterred, Lincoln touted the colonization when addressing Congress in December 1862. Asking lawmakers to offer funding. I cannot make it better known than it already is. I strongly favor colonization. But yet weeks later, Lincoln signed a proclamation confirmation. So that's one thing they fall back on. Faulkner agreed that right now Lincoln still retained an interest in colonization, but he never publicly advocated this policy again. Putting some black men in the military, asking others for labor of wages, implied a different version of the future place in American society than plans for selling them overseas. Instead, passage was turned to the passage of the 13th Amendment, abolishing slavery, and the ideal of colonization faltered when the news of disastrous attempt was filtered back to Washington. 1864, Fonser writes, although Lincoln saw voluntary immigration as a kind of safety valve for individual blacks dissatisfied with their condition in the United States, he no longer envisioned large-scale colonization. The idea of white America did not die with the Civil War, nor did blacks' own immigration effort. But the colonization as an official policy was dead, and that was well before Lincoln's assassination of April 1865. So, and this is the ruling they had on the Post, you know what I'm saying? A Whitebeard shared text on the internet say that Lincoln was very really making plans to send all free slaves to the jungle of Central America once the Civil War was over. The only thing kept this from happening was assassination. This is incorrect on many levels. All right? They said it was incorrect on many levels. And he even was arguing for the voluntary colonization during the first 2 years as president. Lincoln did not envision enforced deportation of ex-slaves. However, historians agree that the large-scale colonization was effectively dead by the time of emancipation. So they're trying to say that's 2 years before Lincoln's assassination. So this is a story that they saying is politically false. Now, where we saying in black media, or what I'm saying, is that the Politico was dropping propaganda to confuse the young minds of our children and stuff like that. Because the story was completely, what man said was completely true. And I'm going to use an African historian, a black historian, a well-known, maybe not that well-known, but, you know, a black historian to back it up with the articles and everything else. So I had to give the Politico pants on fire. And this is our job in black media, to call these people out and call them for what they are. Why are they lying to our people like this? We already know why. It ain't no big thing. But it's time for us to control the pen of our history. How you gonna tell a falsehood? You know, and have the babies believe in this. Because some kid will cite this article. You know what I'm saying? And it's a falsehood. So that's what we here to do, you know, to spread the truth from our perspective, from our point of view. So in the next video, I'm gonna the next video is gonna be a part 2 to this, and I'm gonna dispel the lies and rumors in this one. Hey, y'all have a wonderful day. Subscribe to the channel, and much love. Peace.